You guys go and you break the century mark 2 nights ago, and today was a real battle from start to finish. Lindenwood never phased away. What was Coach Lord saying to you guys throughout the game to keep you hungry and not to settle?
Really, I think we just needed to focus on our defense, and what it really came down to is they were making shots and we weren't. And not every night's going to be your best shooting night, so we just kind of had to focus on our defense because even if the shots aren't falling, if you get stops. I mean, if a game's 2-0 and they didn't score, you still won. So I think we just really needed to buckle down on defense, and it just came down to they were making plays at the end, and we were struggling a little bit offensively, but I think we pulled through in the end when it mattered.
It got competitive, chippy, tough, however you want to say it, towards the end as well. What was it like for you guys, voice on the courts from your leaders, just to say not to stoop down to your opponent's level and not to do anything to put your team in harm's way?
Just kind of like that. Just don't worry about that. You can't control anything else but how you're playing and your effort, and you can't control if shots are going in. You can't control what the calls are. So I think we just needed to really focus on ourselves, and we can't really put anything on the refs. They were just outplaying us. So I think that's what it really comes down to is they were making shots and we weren't, but we were fortunate enough to have some grit and get through it.
You guys struggled from shooting there in the second half. Would you attribute that to them making a change defensively in the locker room, or more of you guys just missing those shots?
I really think we were just missing shots we usually make, and we were open. All of us were pretty open, and we just weren't knocking them down. And sometimes you're not always going to make 18 threes a night, so I think that's when you got to focus on your defense, and I think we did that.
When you guys are going through a lull like that offensively, what are you guys telling yourself out there on the court, just trying to get you guys through it?
That's just when you do the little things, it builds momentum. So making free throws, which we struggled a little bit there too, but getting stops on defense, making free throws. Mac hit a huge three, and that kind of got our momentum going again. And I thought Brinley McPherson came off the bench today, and she did a great job kind of bringing that spark, her and Paige Imhoff both. So just doing the little things when shots aren't falling is what's important.
And obviously, as a team, you guys really pride yourself in the defensive effort. When you guys have a half like this, do you guys really rally around that side of the ball to be able to get you guys through the tough times?
Yeah, like I said, you can't really control your shots if they're going in or not, but you can control your effort. And I think we were trying our best. Sometimes the ball doesn't fall in, but I think our effort was there.
2 home wins, and especially this hard-fought win today, can kind of that momentum heading into next week, especially when you face Emporia on Wednesday. What's that kind of feel like?
We talk about it all the time. Just a win's a win in this conference, and it's hard every night. You're going to get everyone's best shot, and we talk about a lot. Just having that number 5 in front of our name kind of puts even more pressure, puts an even bigger target, especially for a young team like Lindenwood. They came out and they played their butts off, and we got to tip our hats to them. But we just got to focus on ourselves and take every night. We can't take anyone lightly, whether we're playing Emporia or anybody else. It really doesn't matter. We've got to come out with the same intensity and effort every single night.
And you being the senior and the leader on the floor, and especially having, like you said, Paige Imhoff and Brinley come off the bench, how are you, seeing these players get more minutes, quality minutes, especially in this league right now?
It's cool to watch them build their confidence, and everyone's been there. Everyone's been that freshman, sophomore, and it's hard when you only get to play 10 minutes a game and you have to keep your confidence up. So it's really cool to watch as an upperclassman, just everyone kind of getting that confidence, and they're starting to really believe in themselves, and that's what we need, especially once you get into posting. You're playing 3 games in 3 days, so we really need that depth, and I think it's nice when you don't know who's going to come out and step up big for you each and every night, and I think that's been really helpful so far.
Do you think kind of that blowout win, the other day, and then this, really close game kind of just, I don't know where I'm going with this, but do you think that this close win kind of justifies, I guess, your number 5 ranking?
Yeah, I mean, it keeps you honest and it keeps you humble when you have games like tonight, and you can't overlook anybody. And Lindenwood is a solid team. It doesn't matter what their record is. They're a good team, and if they stay with it, they're going to be a really, really good team. So, we got to tip our hats to them, and we just got to really focus on us. And like I said, it does keep you humble, and your ranking doesn't really mean anything. Anybody can get beat on any given night.
Today was just a survive day. We really struggled. Obviously, when you shoot 20% in a half after shooting 54 in the first half, pretty frustrating game, really. And you can see the frustration setting in. But 2 for 17 from 3 in the second half, and really let Lindenwood back in the game.
What do you attribute that second half to? Do you attribute it to their defensive effort, more you guys not making the shots that you were getting? Or?
No, I don't think they did anything differently. We were wide open in the first half, and I think we were, what did we shoot in the first half from 3? 5 for 12, good percentage. And then we had 17 wide open shots in the second half, and we just didn't knock them down today. So we live by it and we die by it sometimes, but at least we still got the win when we didn't make the three like we normally do.
And obviously, if you guys struggling offensively in the second half, talk about that defensive effort, which, I mean, ultimately let you guys get that win today.
Yeah, we probably should have lost today, but our defense bailed us out at the end. And, Medlin got going there, number 30. I think she had 3 threes in a row at one stretch. And so I thought we did a much better job on her down in the second half, in the fourth quarter and down the stretch. But I thought Lindenwood came to play. They were aggressive and very physical, and we struggled to score. That's really the bottom line.
Towards the end of the game, when it got gritty, competitive, tough on the floor, everyone put it, what did you see in your girls, their reaction to what the other team was doing and how composed that they stayed?
They've been in a lot of big games over their careers, and they know how to finish. And obviously, Michaela hit the big 3 for us when we needed it, and I think they had cut it to 4 at that point. That's what she's a money player. When the game's online, she wants the ball. She had a couple of nice drives, got some free throws out of it as well. So, but really, I thought the game was won on the defensive end in those last 4 minutes when we really struggled to score. Then they made their run, and then we got one big shot, and it really fueled us the rest of the game.
What does it say, I guess, confidence-wise? I know you guys come into these games and you guys pride yourself in the defensive effort. To actually have a game where, I mean, you could directly say we won this game because of defense. What does that say about your team?
They're just fighters. When you play 30 regular season games or 28, you're not always going to play your best offensively, but defensively, you can always come to work and bring your lunch pail. And we really pride ourselves on that. And I don't know if we played great defense today, but we certainly did in the last 5 minutes of the game. That's really what helped us win it.
2 home wins, and then you're going to go on the road facing Emporia. What's that confidence like, especially winning this close game?
Well, we've 16-1 after 17 games. We couldn't be more happy with that. It's the best start in the history of our program, and we've had some really good teams here the last 5 years, 6 years. So, real proud of what we've been able to accomplish so far, and now we get ready for this stretch run, the final 11 games, and we got to continue to improve on certain areas. But I'm proud of our guys, and I think they'll be hungry for a game on Wednesday. And it's our old rival, and the last 18 games we're 9-9 against each other. So here's the rubber match, and it'll be at their place on Wednesday.